Magazine Monday, Magazine Monday, Magazine Monday. What are you reading today? Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to go through this railroad model Craftsman. We left off at Bob Winterton's new Superior Northern, and now we are going with the GP7, following one engine throughout the 31 years of changes. I love this Jeep 7 design, the rounded cab roof on a seaboard system, got a winterization hatch. So when you get down to Florida, not really needed, but up in the upper Atlantic coast, possibly. All right, let's go in here. Ooh, already loving it. You have these 4-bay hoppers. I love the smooth side. I have a bunch of these. Easy kits to build. And easy to weather, easy to spiffy up. And I'm going to actually do a run-through on those. I'm inspired to do a run-through now. I'm liking this. Athern trains. Used to be made in Compton. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, 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 gangsta. Look at that. Is that Warren Buffett? Wait a second. No way. Hang on. No, but it looks like it could be. I do have a wonderful picture framed of a BNSF ES unit. I think it's an AC, ES44 AC. Might be a DC, but I think it's actually AC. In premium heritage, as they call it. And Mr. Warren Buffett signed it, personalized it to me. And I tell this story all the time, but it's pretty cool. I was on tour with his grandson. His grandson was one of the guitarists in another band that I was in, or another band that I was touring with. And halfway through the tour, the folk in the other band really discovered how much I loved railroading, model railroading, all the likes, and ended up having a barbecue at Mr. Buffett's house, which was fun. He had a nice pool in the backyard when we were in Omaha. And, yeah, my buddy Mike, who I love so much, look at this, Overland Models. They presented me at the end of the tour with a picture that they had signed, and ended up going to the Berkshire Hathaway shareholders meeting. It was really fun. Had some brekkie, and then had a barbecue, and then ended up playing a show that night. It was really cool. Can't remember the name of the club that we were at, but they had a really good pizza joint next door. But I do remember we played before a comedy night. So we ended up playing, there was us and two other bands. Look at that. Look at that. Gosh. I mean, talk about a great picture. Look at this port. The circumference. Oi there, mate. But yeah, it's cool. Maybe I'll show that picture sometime soon. We got tank cars. Just in case you're not up to date, we are in June of 1983. $1.75. Look at that. Oh, how times have changed. What a great photo. Please, for the love of criminy Christmas, tell me this is a prototype photo, because if it is a photo of models, which I'm believing it is, good Lord. This had to be shot outside on a diorama. But, anyways, moving on. That's a great shot. I love any lakeside scene, oceanside scene, but really when the lake or the river, it's like a placid river that's just kind of slowly mobilizing, and the train's running right next to it. You see that in a bunch of Canadian photos or East Coast stuff. You see a lot of East Coast stuff. I remember going for a motorcycle ride up, was it the Delaware River, I believe it was? I can't remember what splits New Jersey and Pennsylvania, but we went to New Hope, and we watched, was it Little River Band? Do a sound check. That was cool. Club Havana in New Hope. That was back in the day. Really cool. Look at some of this stuff. Clouds! It even says clouds, really big. That's great. Are those FP45s? What is that? Look at that. Great picture. Can you imagine if that was a model? Good Lord. I mean, I could see that being done in these day and age if somebody really had the dough to do the super trees and whatnot. This is one of my favorite engines, a GE70 tonner. Very unique, 91. That must have been either a Bachmann Spectrum. I believe they had those back then, or some sort of sorry, I'm shaky with the camera, or some sort of brass unit. Either way, this is a great shot. I love the 2 tracks, the roll by. Look at all the trees. That's a lot of work right there. A lot of flocking. Somebody took their time on that. They really did. It's great stuff. And tugboats. Railroad tugs, part 3. That's right. The Erie Railroad was one of the earliest owners of the diesel-electric drive tugboat in New York City area, operating 4 successful diesel-electric boats throughout World War II. In the late 1940s, the early 1950s, the railroad undertook an ambitious tug construction program, which eventually resulted in one of the most modern marine fleets in the harbor. Most of the vessels constructed during this period remain active under the ownership of the successor, Erie-Lackawanna Railroad, until the entry of that railroad into Conrail in 1976. Damn you, Conrail! Otherwise known as Consolidated Rail. Look at this. What a beautiful picture. Wow. Here's a better shot. Good Lord. That almost looks like a model. Look at how pristine that is. It's like so dirty, it looks pristine. And you got the Empire State Building right there in the background. Whoop. Look at that. Zoot-to-go. Can you imagine if that was a model and somebody just did that awesome background and it was just shot at the perfect angle and they did all the acrylic water. But nope. That's a prototype photo. Great shot in black and white of them bringing it on in on a barge. Got some good 40-foot boxcars right there. Look at this. And also, my buddy Evan loves these things. I love them too. A little dockside. 060 probably. Very rare to see an 040, but I do like those as well. Anything dockside. 060, 040. We have some blueprints of the tug here. Let's spin around, turn around, squeeze around. Beautiful. This fan is blowing on me and will not stop. Hang on. I have one of these old, I say old, I mean they still have these, but I got this years ago and I had it in a storage unit and it works great, but almost too great. All right, back to business. We're going to get to this one. I like that magazine. Let's keep going. Boom, bang, bangarang. Building Trevor Depot. My ex-tour manager, his name is Trevor, one of my faves. So, Trevor, this one's for you, dog. Trevor Depot. Moving along. Look, almost like right there. Can I do it? You too could be a master modeler if you just hold your fingers like that. You could always tell when somebody's been modeling forever because they can do this. This is the look of the hold the Phillips head screwdriver, hold the X-Acto knife. I'm right-handed, but I'm able to mimic it with my left hand because I'm just good like that. And maybe I'm a time traveler. Maybe this is my hand. Okay. That's a great-looking depot. Well done. Well done. If that's the diorama, I love it. I love this. Putting a potentiometer on LED, or not LED, incandescent light bulbs, the miniature incandescent light bulbs back in the day, such a cool thing. Maybe put even a small little square of cellophane to give it that old school, vibrant look. I don't know if you guys could hear the vacuum cleaner upstairs. My lady is futzing around up there, stoked. She's so cool. I love the Baby Trainmasters. I have one. in the old Santa Fe zebra stripe. Great unit. This one's from Bowser. Wasn't a big fan of their drivetrains back in the day, the way that they set things up. But they had good quality models. So, yay for Bowser. But the motor and such, a lot of the time, lacked a flywheel. So you'd get a lot of hippity, skippity, whippity. I think that's about it. Whoa there! This is an Atlas track. Good for Atlas. That's the end of the magazine. This will be the next one that we cover when we get to Railroad Model Craftsman. I am going to dice it up and do a couple different magazines in the interim, but thank you for walking back through 1983 with me of June. Next month we'll do July. Models with History. Anyways, just remember, the most important signal is going to be your next one. And until then, my name is Timmy D. For my co-host who isn't present, Mr. Engineer Evan. And you've just watched Magazine Monday on the Railroads Rock Show.